Hi everyone, this is Adam at the National Weather Service. Just wanted to give a quick update on the increasing heat that we are going to be seeing this week. And it looks like that's going to peak during the middle of the week. So taking a look at that this week at a glance, that increasing heat risk and humidity for especially inland areas is going to start on Tuesday, peaking Wednesday and Thursday. This heat risk will be moderate, so that orange category for western valleys, mountains, and the high desert. High heat risk, higher category there is going to be expected in the lower deserts. By Friday into the weekend, we'll still see warmer weather for desert areas, but it won't be as hot as we go toward valley and mountain areas. Again, just a reminder, those heat alert name changes have gone into effect. If you remember the excessive heat watch or warning that is now called an extreme heat watch or warning is the same exact thing, same criteria and things that we use for that. It's just the naming is different. And then the heat advisory is still in effect. And again, those can only be issued for areas near the coast, valleys, and mountains. Again, we want everyone to practice heat safety, whether you're having to work outside, if you're even inside, make sure to check up on those family and friends indoors and vehicles as well. Always look before you lock. And then if you're spending time outside, just make sure you're doing that during either the early morning or the evening hours to avoid the hottest part of the day. And just make sure you're staying hydrated. Here are the heat alerts that are in effect for Wednesday and Thursday as we expect to be the peak of the heat. You can see that the San Diego Valleys and Inland Empire and then the mountains to their east are under a heat advisory. And then that extreme heat warning is in effect on Wednesday and Thursday for the lower deserts, including Palm Springs and then the Anza Borrego Desert. So that heat risk, that's going to be that orange category there. Kind of the second category is going to be present over much of the desert areas by Tuesday. Still probably about the same temperature readings for most areas west of the mountains, especially on Tuesday. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to really increase that risk, especially across the lower deserts. Anyone that is without effective, cooling or hydration will be impacted by this. So make sure you are drinking plenty of fluids, making sure you're getting into air-conditioned areas across your community if you are able to do so. And then the temperatures themselves, again, we'll see highs near 100 for the high desert and inland empire, and then highs slowly creeping up there in the lower deserts, 110 to 114 or so, and then the western valleys staying in the 80s and 90s. Wednesday and Thursday here, very similar. We'll see some temperatures over 100 there in the Inland Empire up into the high desert, and then getting very close to 100 in some of these foothill areas such as Anza, Ramona, Campo. Some very hot temperatures, and then locally over 115 in some spots in the lower deserts. So we're kind of going to warm it up 5 to 10 degrees above normal here. And then by the weekend, by Friday into the weekend, you can see that heat risk turns back into the minor category west of the mountains and into the mountains, but still stays in the moderate category Friday into the weekend across the desert areas. So still staying warm, but just not as hot as Wednesday and Thursday. And then the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here, it's looking like as we get toward the middle of the month, chances are leaning toward, again, that heat kind of sticking around. That area of high pressure is kind of just going to park itself a little bit over the southwest there. Some areas, near normal to slightly above average temperatures. And then as we look a little bit further into July, it looks like we get a little bit near normal temperatures as that heat kind of stays further north into the Great Basin. All right, that's it for me. Thanks again, and we hope you have a great week.